I am the chronicler. I shall record your adventures in my book of legends. Tell me of your deeds.
Right.
Coward was described to anybody of his own form and take his form. Her nose and lower pebble just like Logan and my work was her life was head one side the other. Three shifts. You sweet thing go around. She comes to the light and around it, but there is a more to it. You feel something like you could reach out and touch it, not with your hand, but with some aspect of yourself in a different world dimension. Reach out for the woman. Take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focus on it. You inhale, you feel yourself spread out towards a hanging woman, leaving all that lies between you and her with new and unfamiliar awareness. But you have had enough to reach her. There is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing surge of images, the words and sounds. You shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down some deeper consciousness by you and hang a woman. And when you open it again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded and milky full. Her body's still swinging in the wind. You no longer feel the tree, but still pointed with you, boy. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rib breaking. She smiles at you, has messed up.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? It is both, I think. Yes?
Wow, okay. Am I imagining this? How are you able to speak to me? I need to understand something that happened to me. She nods and looks pity on her face and she comes on a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
She nods.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
Damn, that's messed up. How are you able to speak to me? What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, no, not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times.
Yes, since you're dead hanging from a tree.
Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies.
Wow.
See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties. You should see old Nerwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kanua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company. Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now.
You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I know something more about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
What's in Animancer? Wait, first of all, who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
What happened to you? Sheila asked a rasp and choke tracker between the rows of blurry LTs. She catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Tell me.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord, she is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
What is that, Animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us, the best, inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an Animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear. Of course, dear. Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice. Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
cubicle of the soul. I looked at you in narrow eyes. Are you alright? You seem just lost now. I'm a watcher. He arched eyebrow reason to his hood. Well, that's interesting. And I expect this has something to do with the hooded figure in the ruins, huh? In any case, I appreciate your honesty since you are traveling together. It's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about Watchers? One, that they are rare and they seem to have unique insight into certain soul conditions you cause, as you just demonstrated. That's awesome.
17 and a half.
Come on. Tally ho, man. I don't think there's anybody else to talk to. Should I talk to that dude again? Oh, it does that shit. Step back. Oh, there's some down there. I wonder if this dude says anything different now.
17 and a half. No, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Is that what you do for one around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What was that about that dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta. I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Yeah, the source lately. You know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. There'd be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, Animancers, Watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be.
Seeing you with that funny look on that way, some coming with the dwarf familiar to me. You think you're going to be hanged? Down had it from me. I looked at him and I only felt that was something for me. Reaching up there in my head. The war? Things were only in my lifetime, fellas, as I lived in the connection of that. That's the forest for you. I thought God of rebirth or redemption from you. They call him something differently from a lot of questions. Why was your headman hang? Gotten involved. Oh damn. I'd accepted me down the other day, said they had to go for other parties. I wanted them working to look at the public. That's one of us. None of us looking on the part of something. That's my headman. That's how it said it's him. They took him. That's the word. Damn.
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. There used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess with Ox over there, there was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing atheist worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
What are you still doing here? You last mile drinking mostly. Alright. We could travel together. Where you headed? Someplace called Canyon. I'll watch you there.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say Watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before.
How about his brother?
Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
That's a fine reason if I ever heard one. Alright then, I guess let's do some sightseeing. As long as you're not the one picking the sights. Let's get going. Alright. Let's put him... No.
Hope you're not expecting much.
Damn, he got 91 hit points, huh?
Of course.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. Right.
Follow me.
Got my little band of adventurers.
Sure.
Slight army.
I have received confirmation that Lord Raedric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Eothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands. It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may...
But don't want to stay in this dump anyhow. There looks like somebody in there. How do I get in there? There's a house. Who's this dude? Everybody wanted me to stand in front of the fireplace, help me quiet tune, continue.
Hail and well met.
I just arrived in Gilville. I thought I'd get to know the locals. Well, so I was expecting someone else. My sister, Kalisa, is traveling with one of the caravan ships. The caravan was attacked and we escaped, but Kalisa was caught in the boatway. Turn off my hand out, blow the bar for a moment. Straight up voice guys were tears. I knew Altora was dangerous. The path to take was always certain that I would think in danger. My sister was so sorry. I just can't believe you'd gone. What did you stand for, Alyssa? Because I mentioned that you thought you needed help, perhaps I can provide some assistance. Looks at you with some surprise before they ever heard of us. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if you can impose this on you. Not this small favor. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy album, because it was a good bell. I've done this for a long time now. Every child is born, a good bell has been soulless. Empty. It's happened to so many mothers. I'm not really so I'm going to call him God to favor. I don't know. Maybe I lost my own too. That's a way to go for me. I think I'm going to go that way. I'll find Ringo for you. But you will, God bless you. God give you the coins to pay her with. You trouble yourself with that. I'll take this a drink. But I don't know. It shouldn't take too much of a burden to carry back. Also, compass is a bit taller. We go to the south. You'll have to cross the miles to get there. I'm going to keep it from time. That's option. Thank you again, Philly. You'll be safe in this boat. She is herself. Alright. Cool. Alex, the usurper. I'm not worried. I don't want to do that, but my head's gonna explode if I read any more stories.